Another sup of tea for our tea break chat. My mug today says Yorkshire Git. See all, hear all, say out, sup all, eat all, pain out. Probably sums me up. I was born in Middlesbrough when it was still in Yorkshire, so I'll claim that. Lads, who have we got on today? We've got Matthew Hewitson from Cyberwhite. Have you got your mug, Matthew?
Morning, Graham.
And I've got Gary Brown, Managing Director of Bondgate IT. Have you got a mug there?
Certainly have, yeah.
Excellent. Mr. B. Very good, very good. Well, welcome to our tea break chat. It's tea break. We're in lockdown. Let's have a little chat. Today we're going to talk about IT. It's frustrating. It's something that can cause you to tear your hair out. I think Gary already has. Gary, your business looks after businesses like mine, I suppose, smaller businesses that have multiple computer settings, and you look after them in the office. But lots of people are working from home now. Are people understanding how the technology works? Is it more resilient working from home? What are the changes of the client's perspective on this issue as you deal with them on a day-to-day basis?
I think that the real stark thing that stands out, Graham, is as we've worked from home, we've really become to appreciate that we need reliable and fast connectivity. I think, businesses, we've known this for many years. We rely upon fast, consistent connections to the internet. We've increased our use of more cloud technology, and our dependencies increased. And as businesses, we've made sure that we have got reliable, fast connections to the internet. But at home, it's a very different story. I guess probably up until this year, for the majority of us, the home internet connection has just been for leisure purposes, online shopping, streaming videos, music, playing games, I suppose. But now when we're working from home, our kind of reliance has just increased dramatically. I'm at home now doing this meeting, and I hold so many during the day, and we need, I need to have that broadband to be fast and reliable. Otherwise, we've got poor video and poor audio.
And you
quality.
want it fast and reliable on upload as well as download, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's kind of two perspectives. There's reliability and there's speed. Broadband providers at home have really focused upon the speed aspect more than the reliability, and that's something they're really having to change the way that they serve our homes now. This has just become an essential part of us, isn't it? How we work, how we communicate, and how we socialise. And I think the pressure's on those broadband providers to make our home connectivity as good as business connectivity.
Let's bring in Matthew. Are you at home, Matthew?
Certainly am, Graham.
And you seem to have a great picture. What's your upload-download speed? Here he is. He's running a tech firm. Let's see what he's chosen.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I use one of the major providers in my area. I won't name names, but yeah, pretty good, solid. But Gary's absolutely right. It's absolutely essential that we've got that reliance, because the way that we work now compared to the way that we worked at the beginning of the year has just transformed drastically.
It certainly has. Now, I've got staff working at home at the moment. There are some in the office, for instance, this studio, which we can't do from home. But the ones that are at home, I've never been nosy and asked them what they pay for their broadband. Some are paying for cheap packages because they're on a budget. Some are paying for the top packages from BT, which cost 70 quid a month or whatever. But it's not, as an employer, I've never felt it's my place to go poking around in people's private relationships with their internet provider. Do you think that they should? Would you be asking your staff? Are you paying your staff's broadband bills?
So good point. And actually, I think what we probably should look at is, if we consider the amount of organisations that embraced working from home before the pandemic. That was round about 5% of UK business. So we were really, really behind. When the pandemic hit, that has exponentially grown for obvious reasons. Now, if you look at flexible working, it doesn't just relate to working from home. What's important for us to realise is that the working from home piece for the large majority of us at this moment in time has been forced upon us, and that's come about because of the pandemic. And as a result, a lot of us are working in conditions that are not fit for purpose. And you're absolutely right, Graham. We need to be talking to our employees. We need to be making sure that the environment that they're working in is fit for purpose. Can we help them in any way? Can we provide them with furniture? And can we support them financially with things such as internet connectivity? Absolutely.
Gary, what do you think about the mindset of people who are working from home?
It's changed, hasn't it? We actually, within my business, we're an office-based organisation. But this year, clearly, like a lot of other businesses, we've had to all work from home. I surveyed our team, and I was surprised actually at the results. 75% of my team have really valued working from home, and they would like to continue to do so as part of their role. They don't want to do it exclusively, but they do appreciate that kind of flexibility. The thing that the remainder really missed, it's not so much the work part of the office, it's the social aspect of the office, and then that's been quite a difficult thing to maintain.
And with that, at our end, the creative part as well. I think you get ideas flowing. Listen, I've only got a couple of minutes left. I want to talk about security. It's your specialist subject, Matthew. And you've got things like, you've got a big university you do the security and settings for. What should we be looking out for to keep it right? Because I'm seeing spam emails, phishing emails, texts coming in at a rapid rate. There seems to be a great rise in it. That's just an amateur observation. Is it true?
Well, it might be an amateur observation, but it's certainly a truthful one. So my advice to those that are in organisations, depending on where you are in the journey, of course, and whether or not you've embraced the whole remote working piece before the pandemic, I'd take a step back and I'd look at creating a baseline. So look at what technology you're using already. Speak to people like Gary around, what are the current SLAs that we've got in place, and can you help us influence and positively impact, from a security perspective, the home working? Do you use cloud security services, and do organisations have any regulations that they've got to keep to? So that's from an organisational perspective. But moving from that into an individual perspective, on nearly every project that we get involved in, certainly from an ethical hacking perspective, or when we go and conduct a penetration testing, there is always one thing that crops up on the report, and that's patching. So I read a piece of content the other day. It was actually by the PwC. And they'd suggested that actually 70% of our organisations are still not patching third-party applications, so things like Adobe, Microsoft apps, all that type of stuff. And that is crucial. We've got to look at trying to do better as far as that's concerned.
I suppose what you mean is when it says update, actually update it.
Do it. Yeah, so you'll find a lot of organisations are really good at it, and they've got a schedule and something in place for it to follow. But it is quite labour intensive, and things change rapidly, and that's what makes it difficult. But just relating back to the individual, all of us have got one of these. Right? Mine's an iPhone. It doesn't really matter what guise it comes in, but I've just downloaded the latest iOS update. If you've got one, you've probably done it. People hate doing it because it creates change. But we can do those types of things. It's a simple thing. Set it, be disciplined, do it.
Gary, we have no time for a long answer. 10 seconds, how would you respond to that?
I think I fully agree with Matthew. I think there's one other threat which is going to emerge in the coming years as we work home more, and that's smart devices. Our home is becoming full of smart devices, smart light bulbs, smart plugs. There's very, very little a corporate entity can do to control the security on those.
Okay.
And they present a backdoor.
We're going to wrap it there. It's been interesting. The tea break's over, folks. We've got to get back to work. Thank you very much for joining us, Gary and Matthew.